Hello everyone. I'm excited today to share with you that I will be doing my very first collab. It is a Christmas collab called #December Weekly, and the host is Jovi at Creating with Jovi. It will be starting on Monday, this coming Monday, December 5th, and there are a group of us who are going to be, I guess, the main collab participants, but everyone is invited to join in. If you would like to do your own December Weekly, you can just use the #December Weekly and join in. So the other talented junk journalers that I will be doing this with, other than Jovi, is BB at BB's Closet Creations, Catherine at Created by Catherine, Lori at Enchanted Dreams 71, Kathy at Kathy's Favorite Things, Marianne at Marianne's Craft Corner, Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic, Pam at Pam Van E, and Melissa or Mimi at By Mimi with Love. So all of these channels will be listed below in my description box if you would like to head over and start checking their December Weekly videos out on Mondays. It'll be every Monday in December. That would be awesome. Give them some love. So the purpose of this is just to share a December happening, event, special thing that you want to remember about that week, that day in December. And so I'm going to be doing a little bit of that because we do have some events and outings and things planned as a family. But most of, honestly, what I journal about is chronicling things that I want to remember from my childhood and growing up years. I know my grandparents kept sort of like diaries or wrote books of their memories of growing up, and I have those now, and they are priceless to me, like absolutely priceless. And my mom and dad actually filled out a book for me as well, and I have those in my on my night table as well, and I just love pulling them out and reading them, and just it just helps me remember all of the great sentimental and honestly a lot of funny stories from their growing up years. And so kind of what I do is when I journal, I like to take a memory of mine from my childhood and sort of do a themed page or layout about that, and then write about it, just because I want to be able to hand these down to my children one day. They've heard all of these stories from me many times. Some of them maybe they haven't heard yet. So that's just a really cool way that I can pass that down. And I have a lot of memories about Christmas, so I'll be focusing on those for this collab. I haven't yet decided which of these journals I'm going to be doing my journaling in. Neither of them have actually been written in yet. I made both of these last year. This is from an actual childhood book of mine, and there is a flip through of this a few videos back if you want to check it out. But I also did this one. This one is not a book that I had as a kid. I ordered this one off of eBay a couple years ago and turned it into a journal. And I'm just going to do a quick flip through of this one, just because I looked back and realized I have no flip throughs of this one on my channel. If you are interested, you can stick around for that. But the main purpose in today's video was to let you know about the collab that will be starting Monday. And please join in or visit the participants' channels every Monday to see the new video. So this is obviously a classic little golden book. I know that you don't see this back cover very often, so I think it's a pretty old one. And then I made this is probably one of my favorite tassels I've ever made. I deconstructed a necklace and then added bells and charms and fun lace, and I added this red eyelash trim, and I tried to stick with the main colors of the book, which was red, blue, yellow, and gold. And of course this is a I guess not secular Christmas book and journal, and this one is more of a sacred Christmas story, birth of Jesus themed book. But of course there's a little bit of both in both of them. So this one I made a book page pocket out of sort of a anthology of Christmas verse. And so this is from A Christmas Story with Uncle Scrooge. And then this is some vintage wrapping paper that I made into a tag. And I believe this is just more wrapping paper that I fussy cut. A lot of this, honestly, back here is to cover up scribbles that the original child who had this book had written in it. And then I have some Bible verses typed out with my typewriter. As I'm looking at this, I'm realizing how much I need to change my typewriter ribbon because it is not nearly this dark anymore. And then I just tore around the edges and inked it. I love doing that. I love making typewriter quotes and Bible verses that way. So when I do my little book, little golden book junk journals, normally I don't cut and rehinge the pages. I love the look of that and I love not having to fold it, but for some reason I just cannot get past the bulk that it tends to add to the spine. That's just personal preference. I know everyone prefers different things, but I kind of like this fold over. It allows another little place to tuck something. That's just my opinion about it. This is from a Christmas songbook. Just some bright yellow paper to go with the yellow theme that was in the original illustrations. There's Mary. And then a little gold bag, and I made a little Tim Holtz paper doll paint chip journaling card. And this is from a Metropolitan cookbook that I got from my great aunt. So it's sort of sentimental to me. And this is like I said, this is a personal journal, so there's some things in here that I just got off of Pinterest that are not they're probably copywritten. But this is a scanned piece of Christmas stationery. And here is a piece of coffee dyed paper. It looks like I've put a paper clip here for some reason. I don't know what that was holding in. Oh well, maybe I lost the card that was on it. With some white eyelash trim. I think that's fun. And here's a little O Come All You Faithful snippet. These are just free digital papers that I found online. Some vintage lace and a little gold and silver bead dangle. This is a patchwork pocket flashcard. And I have a bunch of, I think I've kept all of our Christmas cards since we got married. So last year I went through and salvaged a lot of the front covers and turned them into journaling cards. This is from Ideals, as you can probably tell. I love this page. I love that it's an image, but there's still plenty of room and it's light enough that you can journal on it. And I think this is from a My Buddy Kid Sister coloring book. If you grew up in the 80s, you know who they are. This is from a tree identification book. Fabric flip. This is a little card from a Flower Grower magazine. And then this is just a free scanned image of a greeting card that I found online, probably on Pinterest as well. And then we have a little vintage gift tag here, little dictionary page. I picked the word sugar, and then some more gift wrap, and then a very Christmassy looking stamp. In the middle of these signatures, I tied little buttons. Fabric pocket with a yo-yo, and here's another one of those. This is actually a Christmas card that I put on gold foil cardstock, and a little time card. I didn't decorate this for some reason. I guess I figured I would do it later. This is also a Christmas card. It was a ready-made pocket. It's embossed and it's gold foiled. And then a little Christmas card again, and then a Chase and Sanborn coffee coupon, probably from the 70s. Little tiny seed bead dangle. I love metallic seed beads. And here's a little pennant, tracing paper. I have a little set of letter stamps, so I stamped some words throughout. This is a full page pocket. This is one of the books that I got from my dad's seminary library the first year I had them, I did not want to cut them up, so I scanned them for personal use, and this is one of those pages. And then we have a shaker card with Away in a Manger, sheet music, and little stars. Oh, there's something else in here. A little tag with a Christmas tree. I think this is just from like a Vermont country store catalog. And then I added a star, Brad. This is another Metropolitan, or this could be yeah, this is the Metropolitan cookbook, and it had other brands that are still around. Calumet baking powder and Swansdown cake flour from the 1930s, I think. This is a vintage scan of a Christmas card that was, the person who had it on their blog scanned it like this, so you could actually fold it like the cards used to be folded. Such bright, vivid colors in this golden book. I love it very much. This is, I think this is an actual Christmas card that I had. Nope, it's a little songbook. I don't remember where I got this, but it's really cute. Some things I just kind of, oh, I know where, because I had to cut it out like this to get it out. This was in a scrapbook. So I salvaged that out of a scrapbook. And then here's just a little collage card. This is actually a fabric tree that I glued down. Yahtzee scorecard. This is velveteen with some gold trim. Here's a biography of George Frederick Handel, my favorite composer. He wrote Handel's Messiah, of course. And then a little 3D holly that I think I got at Michael's. A recipe for graham cracker bars. My husband would love that. And another Christmas card scan and a dollar bill. Ledger sheet. I put some green satin ribbon on the edge here. Doily. I think this is before I got my edge punch, because normally now I will punch the edge of these solid copy paper colors. Away in the Manger lyrics. This was some vellum that I honestly have had since, oh my goodness, I've probably had it 20 years when I was really big into scrapbooking, and it's sheet music that's in gold and it's like a vellum. I love it. Finally was able to use it in this book. This is from a book about religious art. This is actually a sack from a local mercantile type store that I just cut apart. But it had, you know, you've seen these with the little, it's like a scan of the catalog. Sears Roebuck or something. Here's a little Christmas tree stamp. I am still figuring out how to stamp images cleanly. I'm learning. I'm better than I was when I first started stamping, but I have a ways to go. And then this is a typed recipe page that I got in an estate sale. This is vintage foil gift wrap. I love it. It's that ribbony looking kind. Christmas songbook page. Printed poinsettias on vellum. Another Bible verse. I inked that one with dark green. Another Christmas card scan. This is a verse from Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And I don't remember where I learned how to make this, but it's just a little envelope type tuck. But you can use a little die cut to hold the envelope closed, and I used this little choir boy picture. This is a children's storybook, stories about Jesus, and they were going next door to talk to one of their neighbors and bring him some Christmas cookies. Here's the same children. I don't know what they're doing getting pine cones, I guess. And then this came out of a late 1970s Reader's Digest or TV Guide or one of those magazines like shaped like this. And it's just, this type of ad will always be how I think about Hershey's Kisses, or as my grandpa called them, Silver Bells. And then a book page pocket with a little tag. I think this is a Tim Holtz tag, and then a little handmade tag. This also came out of that scrapbook. Little cellophane. Another Christmas stamp from Australia. Here's another stamp. That one came out much better. I don't remember what this page is. I guess we'll find out in a minute. And then this is just a little fabric cluster. And here with a paper clip with a ribbon is a vintage greeting card. I was thinking this was a 2 signature, but I see now that it's 3. So I don't know what that little piece of paper was. I think it was a recipe. I didn't... Yeah, that was the other side of that typed recipe page. That's what it was. Sorry. Kind of got lost in here. This is a Rita flip. And then look at this adorable little image. It is so cute. And this is a party invitation card that I got at a reused art store in Durham, North Carolina. Knitting guide. Another Bible verse. This one has, I think it's Scream. More green ink on the edge. And then this is from a child's piano book. This is from a book that I had as a child. This is from an insurance company that my papa worked at. They had many, subsidiaries, but he worked at this one in Greenville, South Carolina. And they used to put out a little monthly newsletter for their employees, and I just happened upon these in an antique store and bought all that they had. This is just a piece of vintage gift wrap that I found online as a scan, and I turned it into an envelope. Fruitcake recipe. This is a collage tag. This is another image from a scanned greeting card that I put, what is that stuff called? Liquid pearls, I think it is. Just embellish the snow a little bit. Made a tiny little holly cluster with some felt, and then a holly definition from a dictionary, and a jingle bell on here. Merry Christmas stamp. Lots of space to write and add pictures here. This was another scanned gift wrap image, and I tried printing it on shiny paper to make it look like gift wrap, but I don't know. I feel like my printer was throwing out too much ink. I might have set the settings too high, and it just doesn't look great. But for a personal journal that you're going to keep, it does not matter. But I do love the retro of it. Here's a Bible verse out of Micah. This is another book page pocket with a flashcard that says sing, a fruit cake, I think fruitcakes always look so good, but I've tried my whole life and I just don't like it. My husband adores them though. And then here's a little decoupage tag with more of that beautiful vellum with the sheet music and a Victorian seal, I guess you would call it. Belly band. I did a lot of collaging in here. I'm seeing now with, here's a little Brad. She's cute. A little tiny notebook. Got some papers inside. And here's a yo-yo. I think I ended up adding this trim because I didn't cut this piece long enough. Y'all know how that is. And this is actually a double one, but I didn't add anything in there. So this is one of my favorite pieces of ephemera ever. It's a shrimp tree. This was tucked into a Betty Crocker cookbook that I got at an estate sale. And evidently it was printed by the Florida Department of Natural Resources to encourage the consumption of shrimp. I don't know if that's encouraging me to eat more shrimp or not. I don't know that I'd want to mess that up. My mother-in-law does stuff like this, and I think she has made a shrimp tree before. And this is a copy of a sewing pattern with little children in pajamas. Isn't that cute? Guess check. That's the end. So, let me know in a comment below which journal you think I should start writing in first. Or at least, I'll probably can fill both of these up with Christmas memories, honestly. But if not, I can write in one with my own and then give this to my children to write their Christmas memories. My daughter or son, I don't know. My daughter will probably be more apt to write in it. But I did have a hard time trying to decide which one to write in last year, so I didn't write in either. But this year I'm going to. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the flip through. And again, all the information about the collaboration on Monday will be in my description box. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Stay tuned for the sewing journals. Bye-bye.